Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of What If. Sorry, I'm fucking tired. Episode, I think 4 of What If Deku was special. And before we get started, I would just like to say my apologies for last episode yesterday. Because in all reality, wasn't my best. Shouldn't have even really posted it. But, yeah, nothing we could do about it now. I mean, yeah, sure, I could delete it, repost it, but it would repost something else, but to be real, I was gonna end it somewhere around that time anyways, because let's just say the reason that it had to end so abruptly is, kind of electrifying, could say the fucking least. Basically meaning like the power went out. Literally not like 5, maybe 10 minutes. It's after the fucking noise was starting to go. So, yeah, granted, it wasn't that late, but still, I had to, like, unfuck the circuit breakers, and it was, like, for some fucking reason, like, it wouldn't go for, like, 5 minutes, and then I did it again, and it worked. After I kicked the fucking box. I don't know what the fuck is up with this place, but eventually I think we're gonna end up moving anyway. So, now that it's been like over 2 minutes, let's get into episode 4 of What If Deku Was Special. I'm gonna hit you with a recap because I went over a lot last episode. So, alright. A lot of factions have kind of reared their ugly head around the corner. And you're probably wondering, what factions? And it's like, okay, so, in this canon, this version of Fallout, Caesar broke through the dam already. He already passed up the fucking and New California Republic, who in this one is still kind of functioning. They're like the Enclave remnants at this point. They're kind of there, but not really. And the Enclave remnants are also there because some stuff I had to change up. And this one, the president, the Vault Dweller in the Capital Wasteland didn't fucking convince him to commit suicide. And therefore, he is, like, basically in the middle of all this shit happening. Izuku, who is allied with the Enclave remnants, he's not, like, high enough on their, like, payroll to, like, hey, yo, you meet the president, but it's like, he's fucking close. That's because Izuku is the fucking fixer of that group of individuals. If you want something dead, you send Izuku and his fucking mecha death claws. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, Chief. If they had that, and they knew how to fire guns, tell me with a straight face you would want to fight that. No, the fuck you wouldn't. Stop lying to yourself. But anyway, hey, back to everything else. The Brotherhood of Steel is in there because of Izuku's not Izuku specifically. Because in this one, there are a lot more vaults around Izuku's. because that was supposed to be Vault-Tech's main jumping off point to restart the US. Like, smack dab in the center of US, that's where we're going to start, and we're just going to expand over time. That was their plan. Did not go that way. But it might now, though. There is also a Robco factory that has been controlled by raiders, which then is pumping out fucking robots who basically play highwayman. So, yeah, and it was a military-grade Robco factory. So they got some scary shit. They got, like, Protectrons with rocket launchers and just shit that they shouldn't have. They also have things like regular Assaultrons and Mr. Gutsies. So, keep that shit in mind. And that's where Izuku wants to go. He wants to take that bitch over. He wants to take the entire operation. And to be quite real with you, these are his reasons. It's a robot militia. And since, sure, it's gonna be kind of a bitch to sneak in there without destroying a lot of them, kill, like, the head guy, hack into the terminal, have all the robots either turn on the people, on the raiders, or bring them there to actually fucking submit to fucking fealty. Because Izuku, is not having this shit. Now, granted, while all of the factions were coming in, Izuku had a month to actually, like, basically get a buffer time, which is when he decided to make the suits for Didi and fucking the other one. I forgot what the name I wanted to put in as. Give me a minute. Acrosa. That's it. It was a comment. And it's on episode 3. So, hey. But, yeah. The, two, Acrosa and Didi are kind of, like I said, Acrosa is a bit duller than Didi, which, like, he learns like Izuku. He isn't like, he's a Deathclaw that could speak. Didi is fucking smart. And it's really fucking awkward to some people, because, like, Didi be fucking walking around with Izuku sometimes. And, like, people know that, like, hey, yeah, no, he fucking, A, tames Deathclaws, and B, he probably, like, is proudly wearing Enclave colors in Brotherhood of Steel territory. Tell me with a straight face that doesn't take some fucking balls. Now, the reason why he does that is simple. He kills boss a lot of the time because they send knights after him. They bring a lot of shit down on him most of the time. Him and his little fucking caravan of fucking ingrates that he got going with Clarice. He's Acrosa and fucking Didi. They're fucking monsters. And they're like small, like 6 to 7 other Assaultrons. I mean, not Assaultrons, sorry. Fuck. Assaultron, Jesus Christ, Jermaine, not yet. Protectrons because of the warehouse. Granted, they do have, like, upgraded weaponry because of Izuku, but they're still fucking Protectrons. They're still pretty shit. But, when it comes down to Izuku and the way that he presents himself, is a very nice person. But as soon as you say something about, like, bad-mouthing the Enclave or some shit, or wearing boss colors, even though your ass is in boss territory, that doesn't mean you're not gonna be shot at. I mean, it's unlikely, but it's still a possibility. You're still gonna get shot at by Izuku. Like, if you wear Brotherhood of Steel knight armor, you're getting shot. That's just like a rule that Izuku made. It's like, okay, I want that power armor. Izuku does have power armor from the Enclave, which he wears. He just takes boss power armor and sells that shit to the Enclave. And, like, openly gives it to them as well. Because he is basically considered, like, a fairly high member in the faction. At this point. Like, he's not presidential, hey, you get to meet him. But, like, he's close. Like, really, really fucking close. And he explains what he wants to do to the Enclave. Granted, like, it's through comms and it's a bit buggy. He does explain, like, hey, yo, I want to go to this Robco factory that's owned by Raiders. Take that bitch over. Because they have a fair bit of fucking machines at their disposal to make robots. So, take that as you will. Which then got Izuku some more numbers, let us say. They gave him some more weaponry, some interesting schematics for a new type of weapon that they were trying to build. It wasn't finished, the schematics, I mean, but he might be able to do something with it, which he is. He is able to figure out how to connect. Well, you know the flamer in Fallout? Big ass fucking flamethrower. Yeah, no, Izuku attached that shit to the back of fucking a Crosa. So when she's charging at people, she could, like, kind of use the fire as cover, as well as burn the fuck out of people. So you're getting a flaming armored Deathclaw fucking charging at you now. So keep that shit in mind. Akrosa's a little fucking monster. But more specifically, Izuku ended up getting some, not just Protectrons, but, like, actual people. Which, like, he was fine with. Until he seen how, like, bad they were in his eyes. But, like, in all reality, they were, like, pretty good troops. They weren't bad. In Izuku's eyes, they were bad. They weren't proficient in all guns, which pissed Izuku off. It was like, man, I don't know who the fuck you people are, but y'all are trash. He doesn't say that, but it's like, it's implied. But, Izuku still plans on using them to the full ability. They get in power armor, and they're ready to storm the fucking place where all the robots are. The Robco factory. Now, no, Izuku knows that they have a fucking patrol of Eyebots just circling the bitch. And it's like random patrols too, so they can't fucking like pinpoint when are they gonna pass? Like, no, we just gotta book it. So it's in the middle of the night, all of them are ready. And that's when all of them begin to sneak in. And by everyone, I mean everyone except for the fucking Protectrons. Those are like the you're not going to steal my car insurance, basically. So all of them are basically sneaking in. They basically get up to the eastern wall of the building. There is an entranceway here, but there is something kind of strange. Like, they hear the sounds of construction in there, which they expected, but they also hear the sounds of someone screaming. And they see some fucking guy from Caesar's Legion just getting fucking eviscerated. I'm talking, he's losing limbs, like he's first being skinned, like just some nasty shit that like makes Izuku need to take a fucking double take, like what the fuck? No. Why are they doing this? That's why are they pissing off Caesar? And like Izuku basically gives the order to sneak around and start delivering stealth takedowns to like people. So Akrosa and Didi are immediately on that shit. I don't know about y'all, but like 2 fucking death claws on one person is a guaranteed death sentence. I don't know about y'all. But when it comes down to specifically how everything else went, it was pretty interesting. Because Izuku got to the main terminal, all the robots are basically programmed and like connected to this terminal. So what he did was basically put them all on the opposite settings. They are friendly to people in Enclave uniforms. All of his people are in Enclave uniforms, and that's it. So it would be interesting to like people's surprise, so like, hey, oh fuck, we're getting jumped by our own robots. It's the fucking Assaultrons are knocking people unconscious and dragging them back into the building. There are a lot of robots. Like, it's a small militia. It's a fairly sizable amount. And they're still making some. So, yeah. What Izuku does is have them all, like, tied up. Now, the Caesar's Legion guy, fucking the Legate, I'm gonna say it's a Legate. It's not Lanius, because Lanius is technically Caesar, because Caesar died of the tumor. So, yeah, someone else, another Legate, or like someone lower on the board, Centurion? Probably. Hey, I don't know, like, the Legion's exact fucking, hey, you're this rank, but like, it was someone fairly decently high on the totem pole, like a general at maximum. So, Izuku saves his ass because he knows, like, hey, if, like, Caesar knows better than to fuck with the fucking Enclave. Like, even though they took Hoover Dam, they're still too fucking small. But, yeah. What Izuku does is pretty straightforward, simple. He begins to work. and work he does. For the next 4 days that skipped ahead, more supplies are being flooded into the location and being fortified by the Enclave. And that is when Izuku gets an express order from his superior to go into a room. You're meeting the president. And as soon as he heard, hey, you're meeting the president, like, to Izuku, that is a patriot. Through and through, granted. He got some, like, mental instability issues, but he's, all in all, he's fucking hyped. Like, you can't tell me, like, hey, yeah, no, you're from a vault. You get told amazing things about the USA, and then you fucking, hey, yo, dude, you get to meet the president. Fucking nice. Izuku actually puts on, like, something decent. Like, actually, like, something that he ironed. Like, making sure that he looks presentable. Like, he doesn't have to go now. Like, he's going in, like, a couple minutes. So, like, he's trying to make sure he looks good. And not like some fucking savage. But, yeah. What Izuku does, he, like, gets ready. He's ready to go. They take him out of the building. They begin and weaving through tunnels that they dug to the building. And then he ends up in front of a computer, which confuses him for a moment. And then he sees the president. Izuku asks questions and gets the same explanation that you do in Fallout 3. I am the last elected president of the United States. I am the embodiment of him. I am his recording. I am basically his sentience put into an AI. So I may serve this great nation through and through. So, in all intensive purposes, he's a robo-brain. But, Izuku and him have a fairly pleasant back and forth. And then he begins to explain to the president, like, hey, yeah, no, there are, like, more people like me in the vault. Vault that I came from. And he was like, understood. Do you know any other possibilities of you getting into the vault? Any other vaults? And it's like, I know for a fact that our vault was like the first vault that was supposed to open. I'm gonna need to look through the overseer's logs, but I'm pretty certain I could do that. I have the right clearance. Still, hopefully. So, during this, we're gonna switch perspective to the Brotherhood of Steel. And, now, we're gonna go off of Naruto threat levels. Now, everyone knows at this point that Izuku, hey, he works for the Enclave. Izuku is an S-rank threat to the Brotherhood of Steel. He is if you call this in, everyone's gonna be there to try to kill this person. Like, I'm not even kidding. They will, like, rally up a fucking kill squad of 100 people just to zap his ass. They want him gone. And since he works for the Enclave, which makes it even fucking worse, him worse of a threat, because he's being funded by the former fucking government. Granted, sure, we don't have that much, but still, it's fucking insane how fucking bad it could be if we fuck up. So we need him dead. News comes flying in that Izuku, along with the Enclave, have taken over the robot factory, which was the Brotherhood of Steel's secondary target, other than the vaults of the location. Now, the reason why they want to get in the vaults? Oh, it's simple. There's old tech in there. According to the main HQ headquarters down where Vault-Tec HQ is, there's a lot of good shit in those. Good shit that we need to keep the fucking Pridwin up. We need to make sure we get in there, or we're fucked. Because apparently, this Izuku is a vault boy, which means if he's from a vault, one of these vaults are already hostile towards us. Which means we're gonna go in to try to fuck with Izuku and make sure he can't get more help. So, in all reality, Brotherhood of fucking Steel is kind of freaking out. Because, hey, there's like someone who is like went into our territory in Enclave colors and killed a paramount, the exact amount of 47 knights, 72 conscripts, and a couple privates. Because, yeah, no, we're running low on fucking recruits. So, I'm gonna say that it is very blatant that Izuku is starting to like. He knows for a fact, okay, I can't do the shit that I used to anymore, but instead, I could do something else. So, we need to get to my vault so I could get my research. So, what happens is this. A big-ass robot migration, almost. It's weird. Goes to where it all fucking started. That goddamn crater. Now, the iBots do what they were doing in the, at the factory, but on the, like, outskirts of the crater, like, making sure no one fucking comes up. And, Izuku opens the vault. Now, I'm gonna say, like, they were thinking flat out of, like, moving the president into the vault. Because it's more secure than the place that he's in. So, yeah. That's most certainly a thing. Now, when it comes down to that, they don't notice the boss and, like, the Crimson Caravan don't notice this. Because, to be honest, like, the Crimson Caravan is fighting the fucking Legion. Legion on, like, some town's behalf. Like, making sure, hey, yeah, no, we keep them pushed back long enough for towns to fucking evacuate. Hey, and since, like, Izuku saved, like, a Legion, like, people from the Legion, like, Legate Lanius is starting to get a feel like, Izuku might be a good asset. This Izuku Midoriya. We need him. Him, at the very least, if not on our side, not against us. So, back to what's happening now. Izuku opens the vault with a fuck ton of robots and enclave waiting. Now, he's opening up the vault after a couple weeks have passed. Why? Simple. They rebuilt the town. Why did they rebuild the town? Oh, simple. They're going to need another forward operating base. Because they're making sure nobody gets in this bitch. Not if the fucking Enclave have anything to say about it. Sure as shit if they think about moving the president in there. So, when Izuku opens the vault, like, people are immediately, like, the new overseer is Izuku's father. And Izuku's fucking passcode comes through that opens the vault. So, his father puts the vault on red alert. And the new security personnel, which are not good at shooting, just take positions. And I'm gonna say there are intercoms on the outside, and the elevator shaft of the vault. And Izuku's the only one going down. And Izuku's father, Hisashi, says, oh, shit. Oh, that's strange. That's not good. Probably. But, yeah. Hisashi says through the intercoms, you are not allowed here. Leave immediately. And Izuku just grabs his fucking Vault-Tec radio, tunes into the band on security, and straight up says, I'm back, bitch. And just that's it. That's it. And he just says, alright, listen. I fucking shut the door, and you people fucking about to fucking shoot me. How about you fucking not? Huh? Yeah? Especially that the fucking government is outside. How about that? You ever think about the U.S. government? And it's like, fuck you mean the U.S. government? They're fucking dead, Izuku. No. The Enclave are the remnants of the U.S. government. I've met the president. And when the elevator goes down, people are ready to shoot Izuku. And everyone sees him specifically, and they're like, okay, fuck. They all just mellow the fuck out. And he's like, alright then, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's time we see the sun. At least you guys do. I'm tan as fuck. So, people start moving out of the vault. And it's not a mass exodus, because Izuku does say, hey, yeah, no, keep the functionality running down here, but I have given codes to specific people. I'm gonna need some other stuff from the overseer computer, stuff like that. And since technically Izuku is the highest ranking one in the vault, no one's gonna complain. He is technically overseer. So, Izuku's able to get into the overseer's computer and start looking up, one of the overseer's projects, which is something called Project Breakweight. And Project Breakweight has, 2 stages. Leave the vault, begin connecting with the other vaults. Now, Izuku gets coordinates of those vaults from the computer and the codes to open them. and to tell them, hey, it's time, let's go. Believing that if the experiments went well inside of those vaults, it's going to be great. So, Izuku gets all that shit off the overseer's terminal, and then he, goes to his, specific science workstation. And, now, at this point, I'm going to say that the Enclave presence and the robot presence has now just been noticed by the Brotherhood. And they see the fact that, oh, fuck, the vault's open. So, they don't know exactly what Project Breakweight was, because they couldn't find that on the Grand Overseer's Terminal, which was basically Vault-Tec Terminal. Like Vault-Tec CO Terminal. But, when it comes down to it, Izuku, along with a lot of people, there were still a lot of people in the vault that ended up coming out. So, when Izuku, all these people come out after Izuku's done getting some of his projects. Now, one of those projects was an upgrade to the nuclear core of the place that he knows for a fact he could do. They're just going to have a power outage for 2 days. So, and almost immediately he begins using the Mr. Handies, Mr. Gutsies, and most of the worker bots that he ended up making just to help with this, because it's going to take a while. Granted, Izuku didn't have the resources that he did, that he does now, so he's probably going to finish this in under a day, maybe half a day. And he basically gets the go-ahead from people to do it. Now, at this point, I'm going to say that the factory that Izuku has still... God damn it. One moment. Alright, we back. Now, I was talking about the Robco factory that is still pumping out robots. Granted, thanks to the remnant, not the remnants technically, they wouldn't be remnants, would they? No. Thanks to the, what is left of the Enclave, they are able to get a fair bit of, resources to make robots. So, yeah, no, that place is gonna be a bitch to attack. Why? Oh, simple. There's already a fucking minefield. And, oh yeah, I'm just gonna explain what happened to the raiders. Izuku gave them an ultimatum. He untied the boss and told him that he could leave. He turned his back, started running, and then Izuku shot him 16 times in the back. And he says, that is what happens if you fucking... and don't join the Enclave. And specifically, my little portion of it. Are we understood? And all of them immediately kind of yeah, no, he got a point. USA. Just immediately kind of flipped, and they're like, yeah, okay. Please no. Please God no. Because, homie kinda, He is... Yeah. He got fucked up. But, Izuku, when it comes down to the entirety of his little outpost now, things are going really good for him. Because now that they have, like, something on the trade line, and Izuku already has, like, contacts in other towns, it's basically official. That part, like, that enclave settlement is a part of the trade route. And if anyone fucks with that trade route, they are not allowed to fuck with it. So that means what's about to happen going to be even more fucking hilarious, because the Crimson Caravan is still fucking with, like, Caesar and his fucking legions. When the Brotherhood decide, yeah, no, we can't let this stand, they, keep in mind, they're foreigners. They don't know about the rule. Because whoever fucking attacks the damn, the trade route, they don't get any more trade from anyone. Like because every town on that trade road is basically a part of this conglomerate. That's basically like, okay, we don't trade ammo or weapons or anything to the Crimson Caravan directly anymore. And the Brotherhood's about to be added on that list because they don't want that vault. Like Izuku, like they're 90% certain Izuku's going to be there. And they already know, like, there's an enclave presence there too. So yeah, no, they're kind of... There is a siege. Izuku and the Enclave members gets let known about 50, maybe 60 like not seconds, like minutes ahead because of the Eyebot patrol. But Izuku was thinking about putting landmines. He can't do it now, but he was like, fuck. Oh well. So, what Izuku knows is that he's going on his ham radio. He's going to contact the robotics factory and have it send assaultrons to try to flank them as they attack. Now, not just assaultrons, protectrons, all the usual shit, but like, Izuku is making sure, like, the assaultrons are cloaked, or the cloaker variant. So, yeah, and every assaultron, I'm gonna say, because Izuku is sick and tired of having to deal with people in some fucking power armor. They just flat out taught them how to remove the power core from their back. That's it. Because Izuku's had enough of their shit. Yeah, alright? He's had it up to here. He's fucking done. So, this is basically what happens. As the siege is taking place, luckily, this time, the boss don't have mortars. But they have the high ground still. But they prepared for this. Yes, so... During the main siege, they are getting pincered, and they don't know by who. And low-key, it was a small group of Caesar's Legion that was supposed to fucking come to make peace, like, kinda get a meeting with Legate Lanius and Izuku. So, well, it wouldn't be Legate anymore. I'm just gonna say Lanius now. Oh, but we all know who I'm talking about. The one that's scarier than Caesar. But yeah. I'm specifically talking about, like, a group of fairly well-trained Caesar's Legion. So, when they notice that Izuku's people are being attacked, it's like, oh, this is fucking perfect. And then they see the Assaultrons coming over the hill behind them. Which, like, the Assaultrons know, like, hey, they aren't a part of it. Leave them. So, when the Assaultrons come over the hill, they're cloaked. They're already ready to go. And, they begin doing what they were told until they are caught. Now, what happens is simple. Most of these sets of power armor turn off. Why? Oh, simple. They straight up get their fucking core removed. Like, because here's like a downside of power armor. If you get shot in that core, you're dead. If it gets removed, and then someone sticks a gun barrel in it, you're dead. So, you're kind of like, it's best to wear power armor when you're in a corner and you make sure no one's able to do shit to you. So, when like when the knight's armor is starting to shut off, is when the Protectrons start rolling over the hill, like the Mr. Handies and the Mr. Gutsies and shit, just all start rolling over the hill. And when, like, Izuku and the Enclave at the bottom of the hill notice, they're getting simultaneously charged. Charged by a fairly decently sized group of robots. And some other people in power armor that have their cores. Thank you very much. Like, when it comes down to it, what happens is on some crazy shit, to be honest. Because Akrosa and Didi, when they come charging up, as soon as, like, because I'm not gonna lie to you, the, who the fuck? The, group of, Caesar's Legion fucking were charging in too, and then they see two armored fucking death claws. Which, like, kind of, like, makes them stumble a little bit, and then they realize they're ripping apart the boss. And then they realize the rumors are true that Izuku has fucking death claws. So, oh, that's no bueno, that's bad. We don't want to fucking know. So, in all reality, the mainstay, like a fair few of the Brotherhood's people get fucked. Granted, they also did have vertibirds in the air that were getting shot down. And a couple did have to land. Some of them did crash. And Izuku, like, was like, thanks for the free vertibirds, bitch. But, I mean, granted, they're kind of fucked up, but, like, we can fix those. There was, like, 6 vertibirds that got fucked up. I'm not gonna lie to you. They really weren't expecting anything to happen, in all honesty. They didn't. Not a fucking drop. they thought they had the drop on them because they didn't notice the iBot patrols. So, when they just get fucked on, they're and Izuku doesn't take survivors, like surrenders from the Brotherhood of S.P.E.C.I.A.L. So, like, granted, they do get captured, but they are tortured for information, and as soon as they outlive their usefulness, Izuku, like, oh, I'm in it good with Caesar's Legion. So he sells them to them as slaves. Granted, like, Izuku does understand that's kind of fucked up, but he doesn't really care because it's boss. Fuck them. Like, he has had the exact same. Well, he probably has it worse. But to me, and from what I know about the Brotherhood of Steel, they are hoarders. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong if you are a boss fan in the comments. They are hoarders, and they're nothing else. They're not even. All you get from them is power armor and a jetpack at some point. But fuck them. That's the only thing I can say. The Brotherhood of Steel is stupid. But, yeah. There it is. Sorry, I had to stretch a little bit. But, yeah. Now we're gonna go, like, a bit earlier into that day. People are getting, like, sewn up because people did get shot. Granted, like, 2 people on Izuku's team died, which is impressive. It shows, like, in how little time they dug in, and dug in deep. So, yeah. Also, Izuku got more fucking power armor for the Enclave. So, basically, like, a lot of their people are just rolling around in power armor. And Izuku made upgrades to the power armor, to his and to theirs, that, like, come installed with a latch that, like, locks the power core in place, and you need, like, an actual key to open that bitch and get it out. So they're not gonna pull that shit on Izuku or anybody. That's Izuku's trick. Back to it, because he ain't about that shit. But, yeah, in half the day, the upgraded reactor happens in a meeting between, well, missionaries from Lanius. Sorry. And some other people. Well, yeah, no, just Lanius. I'm tired. Lanius and them, they get to talking. Izuku eventually agrees. He's to go see Legate Lanius. So, and they also do explain, like, hey, yeah, no, we're about to pass through a war zone that has the Crimson Caravan in it. And then Izuku just stops, looks at him and says, did you just say Crimson Caravan? And he's like, yeah. Is there general there? He said, yes. Oh, fuck yes. So, after Izuku ended up getting the word out, hey, Brotherhood just attacked the fucking trade route. It's basically a fucking guaranteed, hey, they're working off of their own fucking supplies now. And, if they are going to, who attack like any of the neighboring towns now. Izuku, who has like had robots from the Enclave, and low-key, those are Enclave settlements now. Because like a lot of the people, like granted, there were a lot of ghouls in between all like 17 settlements that were on the trade route. But like Izuku ended up like talking the president into ghouls could be useful. Ghouls are for bookkeeping. Like they're meant for history. That and meant for disposable units, but we're not going to go there. So, when it comes down to Izuku, he has himself established. He's damn near a leader. He's like right next to the president when it comes to like, we have this equal amount of power. And when the president does get moved into the vault, people are fucking ecstatic. The people that were in the vault are ecstatic. The president of the United States is in the vault. And this will seemingly be the new capital. Everyone's happy. Who wouldn't be? This is time for a joyous occasion. So on that, Izuku and his small squadron of six men, 6 Protectrons, Clarice, Didi, and Akrosa begin marching towards the southern half of the trade route. Will they come into contact with Crimson Caravan? Who knows? But personally, I believe, deep in my heart, that when it comes down to Izuku Midoriya, he is a good boy, but no matter what you say, he's forever gonna be a fucking patriot.